joining us tonight. Introducing peaceful protester, Kelley.
Thank you, Ethan Hyatt. Hello, and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion
people. That's correct. 2 billion people.
Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless here in Santa Monica and in Los Angeles County and in California and the whole U.S. of A. The whole wide world, if we could do something about it. But we have to start somewhere. So why don't we start right here in Santa Monica, California, on this 3rd Street Promenade, right here in Santa Monica, where they are criminalizing homelessness, where they are criminalizing poverty. That's right. They're making it harder and harder for poor people just to survive, and they are passing laws all the time to bring citations, give citations to people. You know, they're giving a lot of citations to poor people and homeless people just for smoking or having an open container somewhere or sleeping in public places. They have a no sitting, no lying law here in Santa Monica that they can prosecute people for sitting or lying pretty much anywhere they want to say that they shouldn't be sitting or lying in the city of Santa Monica. That's right. They'll give them citations and make them go to court. And if they won't take the citation, they'll arrest them. And they'll try and ship people out of the city of Santa Monica. That's what they really want to do. Instead of building affordable housing and having enough shelter beds for the homeless population here in Santa Monica, they just want to push poor people out. And that's what they've been doing here for generations. How you doing tonight? Peace. Good to see you. So we have to stand up and speak out. And that's why I will be running for Santa Monica City Council again this year, to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. I want to show that poor people can get involved in the democracy. I want to show that poor people and homeless people can participate in our democracy. And you know, if you're homeless and you are living in Santa Monica, make sure that you register. Make sure you register your address here in Santa Monica at one of these homeless organizations, like the People Concerned, or one of these other. What is the other one? St. Joseph's, or different organizations here in Santa Monica. And make sure you get an address here in Santa Monica, and make sure that you register to vote as a Santa Monica voter, and you participate in democracy here. And make sure you vote for me for Santa Monica City Council, because I want to stand up for human rights. Because the other night, I was at a Zoom meeting of this neighborhood group, the Wilmont Neighborhood Group, and I was the only one of 11 potential candidates that would propose using any of the Santa Monica Airport property for affordable housing. That's right, at the end of 2028, the Santa Monica Airport will be closed down and it will be given to the city, taken over by the city of Santa Monica. And in 2014, they said, we're going to make a great big park out of it. But right now, we're in a financial crisis, a housing crisis, a homelessness crisis. So we need to use some of that park to build some affordable housing, especially when so many of the Santa Monica employees here in Santa Monica, so many of the workforce here in Santa Monica, so many of the first responders, so many of the teachers so many of the other workers here, city workers and retail workers and restaurant workers, such a small percentage of all the workers here in Santa Monica can afford to live in Santa Monica. So we need to use some of that Santa Monica Airport property at the end of 2028 to build affordable housing. And there is a initiative out there called the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something that everyone should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is a great thing for us all. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all. That's right. They want to use 25% of that 192 acres of land when the airport property is turned over to Santa Monica. Use 25% of that, 44 acres, to build 3,000 units of affordable housing. That's a great idea. That is a great idea, and we need to keep pushing that idea. And if we don't get it on the ballot this year in 2026, let's get it on the ballot in 2028. Let's not give up on that. We need to make it easier for people who work in Santa Monica and people who go to school in Santa Monica, and the homeless people who live in Santa Monica, and people, seniors who are in Santa Monica. We need to make sure that it's easier for some of these people to be able to live here in Santa Monica. We have 800 miles of beaches here in California, and mostly rich white people living next to our public beaches. These are public beaches here. They don't belong to the rich people, and mostly rich people living right next to our public beaches. And they keep pushing the poor people further out and further out. You know, if you really believe in the climate crisis, if you believe that things are going to get warmer, as the climate scientists say, then we're going to need to build more housing along the coast, because the temperature is going to be more habitable for inhabitable for human beings, and also the air quality is going to be better next to the ocean. So we need to build more affordable housing right next to the coast. And let me tell you, there's a lot of empty space all along the coast here. There's a lot of empty hills all along Malibu. Of course, they don't want poor people to move into Malibu. We know that. But Santa Monica, we have to start moving in the right direction. We have to show the rest of these coastal communities we have to participate in building affordable housing and making it easier for human beings to survive and thrive. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. We have to stand up for the rights of human beings to have the basics, a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education right here in California. You know, when I was born here, the California public education system was one of the best in the whole country. No doubt about it. After Prop 13 passed in 1978, funding for education went down and down and down. Right when Prop 13 passed in 1978, the whole educational system was defunded by about 30%. That's right. That's what effect Prop 13 had at the time. And we need our leaders to get rid of Prop 13. And I am so pleased that there is somebody on the Los Angeles City Council who is talking about raising taxes on the golf courses in Los Angeles. Some of these wealthy country clubs have been paying low taxes because of Prop 13. That's right. They're paying the same taxes they paid in 1978. That's right. While other people are struggling to have any affordable housing here in California, those country clubs, those golf courses are paying the same taxes that they paid in 1978. And we need to stand up against such foolishness, such inhumane, especially when you're criminalizing homelessness. That's right, all over Southern California right now and all over the West. They are taking people's possessions and telling human beings, you have to fit all of your possessions in a 60-gallon bag because you're poor and you're homeless and you don't deserve to have anything. They're taking people's tents and they're taking people's possessions and they're putting them in dumpsters and they're saying, fit all of your possessions in a 60-gallon bag or you can't take anything else. We need to stand up for the rights of human beings. We need to tell our leaders, you need to build more affordable housing and you need to have some safe spaces for these people to pitch a tent and to have some 24-hour secure restrooms and places for these homeless people to shower and find services. We got somebody running for mayor of Los Angeles, and he's saying, I don't want my kids to see poop in the streets. Well, we need more secure 24-hour restrooms because human beings have bodily functions that they have to deal with. And we need to make it easier for them to just survive here in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world, in this fourth largest economy of the whole wide world, California, in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. Too many of our leaders are blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. And that ought to be criminal. I'm just sickened by some of the leadership. We have Lana Negrete here in Santa Monica. She's a former mayor, and she is on the city council, and she is running for Santa Monica City Council again. And she said, I'm so happy that the arrest rate went up by 23% last year. That's what she says. I'm so happy that we have this no sitting, no lying law so that we can arrest people give people citations for sitting down or lying down on our public places. That's what she said. She's so happy about that. Last year, 72% of all the arrests in Santa Monica were homeless human beings. That's right. 72% of all of the arrests were perpetrated on less than 1% of the population. What kind of crime is that? What kind of inhumanity is that? We need to speak out against such cruelty, such inhumanity. And that's why I'm going to run for Santa Monica City Council again. Not because I like running for Santa Monica City Council, because I want to stand up for human rights. And if I'm the only one to talk about building affordable housing and standing up for human rights out of 11 potential candidates, then I have to run for Santa Monica City Council because the rest of those people, frankly, they don't care about the poor. They don't care about the people in need. And we need to speak up and stand up for their rights because we've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. There's no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while rich people are having space races. We can do better than that. Too many of our leaders are blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless while they are creating the situation that is making people poor and homeless. That's right. They are creating the situation that is making more people poor and homeless. We have too many of our leaders saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. We'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. Say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. That's what they say. That's what they tell these homeless people. You know, Santa Monica doesn't even know how many homeless people they want to be responsible for. And people here in Santa Monica say, well, the homeless people aren't from our city. They're not our residents. They come from all over the country and they're here, and we can't be responsible for all the homeless people. So I asked the director of Housing and Human Services here, the new director, Aileen Reynolds. I asked her, how many homeless human beings should Santa Monica be responsible for? And she said, I'll have to get back to you on that. That's what she said. They don't even want to be responsible for any homeless human beings here in Santa Monica. They want to be responsible for all the rich residents. They want to be responsible for all the rich residents and say they're our residents. But the poor people, they just want to push down the road, whether it be into some program that they may or may not need, or whether it be to jail. They don't want to take responsibility for any homeless human beings here in Santa Monica. They just want to push them down the road and say they're somebody else's problem. But they want to take responsibility for the rich neighbors. Oh, those are our neighbors. Those are residents of Santa Monica. They're rich. But the poor people, get them out. Get them out. That's the way they are. They say to the people, they say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. We'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of those streets. So don't be poor and homeless. That's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. That's what you got to do. How you doing? Peace and love. That's right. We need to stand up for the rights of everybody here in Santa Monica and keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for us all. And we know we need to keep integrating Santa Monica. Thank you, peace. We need to keep integrating Santa Monica because we haven't gotten there yet. Santa Monica is still 70% white because when you push all the poor people down the road, you're pushing out a lot of people of color. And that's just the way it is. Because we haven't reached, my name is Kelley, and I'm running for Santa Monica City Council this year because I want to stand up for human rights. I want to stand up for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. And I want to stand up for the rights of the homeless human beings not to be arrested for being poor and homeless, because that makes no sense, does it? We need to stand up for everybody's rights, and we need to tell our leaders, stop criminalizing poverty and stop criminalizing homelessness, and we need to keep moving in a better direction. We have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, yet they are bringing up that situation about. You guys have a great night. Peace and love. Thank you. They say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. See, I mixed a couple of... Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maura. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maura. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Have a great one. Keep standing up for peace and love, equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. And let's stand up for the basics. We need to all get out and vote for Tom Steyer. I guess that's the last governor's debate that we'll have, gubernatorial debate. That's the last one. Last night was the last one. So we need to get out and vote for Tom Steyer because he's the only candidate who will get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Can you believe it? Out of all those so-called progressives, Tom Steyer is the only candidate for California governor who will get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. I don't want to vote for a billionaire, but if he's the only one who will raise taxes on the billionaire, I'm going to have to vote for him. And if he's the only one who is talking about raising more money and spending more money on public education, I'm going to have to vote for the billionaire. We need to spend a lot more money on public education because since the 70s, our public education here in California has been going down, 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 down. In history, that's right. It's been going way down, and we need to spend a lot more money on public education here in California. We are ranked around 30th. If you compare everything, we're ranked around 30th in spending on public education here in California. And we are the 4th largest economy of the whole wide world. We don't have to wait for the federal government to tell us it's all right to spend more money on education. We can raise that money right here. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of public schools that are doing just fine. You know, and peace. Thank you, peace.
How many people do you have in your lot?
I don't know. Right now, it looks like about 1,100. Is it 11 or 1,100? Probably 35,000.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Peace. Have a good one. That's right. We are the 4th largest economy in the whole wide world. We don't have to wait for the federal government to tell us we can spend more money on public education. We need to do it. We need to find it in the budget. Instead of finding it in the budget for all of these things that'll help the billionaires keep people in line here in California, we need to be making sure that we're spending more money on public education. Right now in California, 40% of the schools in California educate 90% of the people of color. That's a sad situation. 40% of the schools educate 90% of the students of color. So that means the other 60% of our schools are mostly white in California. That shows a lot of segregation. We got to keep integrating our society. We're not doing it very well. And we're not doing it well here in Santa Monica or all along the coast. We have too many people blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless and pushing the poor people down the road, pushing them out further into the desert. That guy who's running for governor, Steve Hilton, he said, well, we just got to build more houses out in places where people aren't. Well, why don't you push all the rich people out where people aren't? Why don't you push all the rich people out into the desert, further into the desert, and let the poor people live near the ocean where the climate is going to be a little better and the air quality is going to be better, and where we need to keep integrating so we don't just have all white people living next to our public beaches. We need to make our public beaches more accessible also for the poor people. You shouldn't have to pay a week's wage just to park at the beach, to take your kids to the beach and go and eat. They're trying to make this public promenade, they're trying to make it just for rich people. We want to make it like like Costa Mesa or Newport Beach or something like that. No, this is a public promenade. This belongs to the people, and we need to keep standing up for that right. We need to keep standing up for everybody's right to peacefully protest and to exercise their First Amendment rights on this public promenade. Let's remind all of these business owners, even though they lock up the chairs at night so that human beings cannot have a place to sit, even though they lock up the chairs and make it harder for poor people to enjoy this public promenade, we need to keep reminding our leaders here in Santa Monica, this is a public promenade, and we need to keep standing up for human rights right here. We have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. We have too many of our leaders saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. We'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. We'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. That's what you got to do. All the rich folks want to help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther, a little farther, a little farther down the road would be good. That's what they used to do. Now they take your tent and stuff and put it in a dumpster and give you a 60-gallon bag to put all your belongings in and tell you, get down the road, get down the road. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. That's right. You know, I'm more fortunate than a lot of people. I have some friends I can stay with. I am homeless. I'm a homeless human being here in Santa Monica, but I have friends I can stay with. But there was a year when I was sleeping in my car, and I had so many tickets that year. They just want to give you a ticket every time you try to sleep anywhere in your car. They make it difficult. They make it harder and harder for people to just survive, and we need to speak out against that. Here in Santa Monica, it is against the law for you to sleep in your car after certain hours. They don't want you to sleep in your car during the day or at night or anything. But they will give you tickets for sleeping in your car here in Santa Monica, even if you pay for the parking. It's against the law to sleep in your car overnight here. And that's just a shame. We're in a housing crisis, a homelessness crisis. Have you heard about it, Michael? I've been talking about it. How are you? Good to see you. Peace. Anyway, Michael, I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again because I spoke at a Zoom forum for one of these neighborhoods, and out of 11 candidates, I was the only one out of 11 that would propose to use any of the Santa Monica Airport property to build affordable housing. None of the other 11 candidates would even consider it. No, it's just got to be a great park, 192 acres, a great park. It won't be great if it's not 192 acres, now will it? 191 would be a small park, but 192. So if you use 44 acres to build 3,000 units of affordable housing, and you still have 144 acres for a park, I'd say that's pretty great. I think I think the Huntington Library Gardens, I think those are, I could be wrong. I think it's about 120 acres there, though. And that's a pretty nice setup over there. But that's just for the rich people, the Huntington Library Gardens. If you get a chance, go to the Huntington Library Gardens on a Thursday. I think the first Thursday of every month. They let the poor people come in and see all the museums and the Gutenberg Bibles and the Rose Gardens and the Japanese gardens. It's a beautiful place. But that's over in San Marino. And they don't let poor people in San Marino. And Santa Monica is trying to be like San Marino. They want to have a great big park where only the rich people can participate in their park. That's what they'd like to do. But we need to keep telling them, use 44 acres of that airport property to build 3,000 units of affordable housing, because you constantly blame the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. And you're creating that very situation. You're trying to make criminals. You're trying to fill your jails. It's a shame. Our own Governor Newsom, he's the one who stood with Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court and filed a friend of the court brief so that they would criminalize homelessness, let him criminalize homelessness, and so he could clean up the streets. He actually said that, Governor Newsom did, because, you know, he's trying to run for president, you know, so he wants to look tough on homelessness and things like that. Even though he's failed, we gave him $24 billion to build affordable housing. What did he do with it? We don't know. We don't know. Anyway, Governor Newsom did a terrible job, and I'm glad he's leaving. And we need somebody, a real progressive, to get in there. A real progressive to get in there and make sure they stand up for human rights and raise taxes on the billionaires. That's right. Tom Steyer said he will raise taxes on the billionaires. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Yeah, the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. He's the only one of all the candidates for governor who would get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. I'm amazed. Well, I thought there were some other progressives here in California, but Tom Steyer is the only one who said he would raise taxes on the billionaires. So we have to get behind Tom Steyer. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Let's vote for Tom Steyer. Let me say it again. Let's vote for Tom Steyer. That's right. We got to get behind the billionaire. I don't like it. I wouldn't be voting for a billionaire if he wasn't all for raising taxes on the billionaires. And he's the only one. Go figure it. I can't believe it. The only one who is for raising taxes on the billionaires is the billionaire. And we'll see if he follows through. Hopefully he will. I've heard some good things about him. I've heard he's accomplished some progressive things. So we need to get behind somebody who is actually a progressive, because we have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. And they want to criminalize poverty. And that's a shame. When you criminalize poverty, you're heading in the way wrong direction. You don't have to think about it. If you've got a Harvard degree and you're criminalizing poverty, I don't care how smart you think you are, you're moving in the wrong direction. We got too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. Did you get that yet? I'm trying to get that through to everybody. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day. and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless, just live on a yacht. That's right, you gotta get a yacht. Gotta get a yacht, you homeless people. All the rich folks wanna help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing up on Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. And the moon. Don't be poor at all. They'll find a way to laugh at you no matter how you fall. Pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They say you're lazy and you're on the drugs. They say you're mostly crazy and you're filled with all kinds of bugs. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. That's right, homeless people. Just be rich. We're gonna send. Thank you. Peace. How you doing tonight? Good to see you again. Wade, what's your name? Armando. Good to see you. What? I am running for city council. I'm glad you brought that up. I have already spoken at one forum, and I will be filing the papers. We can't file papers until July 13th, but I am running for Santa Monica City Council because I want to stand up for human rights here in Santa Monica, because there aren't too many people that believe in standing up for human rights in Santa Monica. They would rather stand up for big business, and that's a shame, and we need to turn that around a little bit anyway. Because right now they're criminalizing homelessness, they're criminalizing poverty, and we need to tell them that's the wrong direction. I wouldn't even care if you're not building any affordable housing if you let poor people sleep on the beach, or if you had 24-hour secure restrooms and you had some showers down there and you could just let the beach bums be beach bums. That would be fine by me. I'd be out there. But if you're gonna make it harder for poor people to have a decent place to live, and you're gonna criminalize homelessness and criminalize poverty, then people got to stand up and say, no, you can't fill your jails with poor people just because they're poor, because you brought about these problems from generations of not building enough affordable housing, for generations of picking on poor people and not raising wages. They need more jobs, but we're going to have more jobs going to the artificial intelligence and to the robots. So we're going to have make sure that human beings can survive even if they don't have a job. We're going to have some basic income even if people don't have a job. And I think that people should be able to go after the kind of ambitions that they have. Not everybody should have to work for a corporation and do whatever the corporate world wants them to do. We saw during the pandemic that many of our jobs are non-essential, right? Many of our jobs were deemed non-essential, and still people got paid. So we need to, as we're moving into this technological era where more and more of the jobs are going to artificial intelligence and to robots, we're going to have to find a way to make sure that human beings can survive, that human beings can have a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. That's not too much to ask. That isn't too much to ask at all. You know, back in 1930s, the kids are just having fun. They're running and screaming and having a good time. Back in the 1930s, 1944, 1930s, Franklin Delano Roosevelt came into power, and then he got things passed like Social Security and the Fair Housing Act, and also things like the Gun Control Act of 1936. 34? I have to look at that date. Anyway, but he got a lot of things done. And in 1944, Franklin Delano Roosevelt gave a speech. He called it the Second Bill of Rights. He said, "It is time for a second Bill of Rights, where every American has the right to a decent place to live. Every American has the right to a job that pays a living wage. Every American has the right to health care. And every American has the right to a good education." Of course, he was talking about public education. He was talking about every American should have the right to a good public education. And can you believe that? In 1944, he gave that speech, and he said every American should have good health care. 1944, we still haven't achieved those goals today. And that's why we need to stand up for this Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. That's right. Tom Steyer is for the Billionaire Tax Act. So I guess we're going to need to vote for Tom Steyer. But anyway, we haven't achieved those goals yet today, so we need to be standing up and working towards them. And, there are many states in this country that don't have health care for the poor people. They don't have dental care for poor people in many states. California, they do. I'm going to go see my dentist next week. I am a poor human being, low-income human being. I'm old. I'm 66 years old, and I get Social Security. I make about $12,000 a year, and I get my teeth worked on for free here in California, and that's a great thing. And other states need to step up, but we need to keep funding things right here in California. We need to make sure that our healthcare system in California is better than everywhere. We need to make sure that our healthcare system, it works for everybody the same. Sure, if you want the Cadillac level, and you want to have the perfect healthcare, good for you. If you can afford it, that's great. But everybody should have good basic healthcare here in California. And we need to keep stepping up and telling our leaders to stand up. How you doing? You getting by all right? You getting by all right, Armando? Yeah. Things are good? I sure do, right there. And this $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, $5. Thank you. Thank you, Armando. Okay. Armando or Armando? Armando. Yes, please. Armando, good to see you again. Good to meet you. Yes. I've seen you before, haven't I? Yeah, I've seen you a while back. You want to say hello to the people, or you don't have to? But that's great, Armando. I think you're doing a good job, Wade, speaking up for the rights of the homeless people and those people that are unemployed, that don't have jobs. So, like you said, the leaders in our country need to provide or create more jobs for those people that are poor. And as far as the homelessness, they need to build more affordable housing. So those I'm with you on that. To build more affordable housing. Yeah, to get those people off the streets. Give them a choice. Give them a choice. That's right. Program called Section 8 that they can. And the Section 8. Armando's talking about the Section 8 housing, and here in Santa Monica, that's closed. You can't get on any Section 8 housing here in Santa Monica. I don't know if they have 10,000 or how many people on the list, so they closed that. And they also have a low-income senior housing list that I am on. I'm on the low-income senior housing list, but I don't know how many people are in front of me. I'm asking that of the new Director of Housing and Human Services here in Santa Monica. And hopefully at the next Measure GS committee meeting, I will get some answers like that. But thank you, Armando. I will be giving that $5 to a homeless human being because that they got it rougher than I do. I have a place I can stay until hopefully until I get some housing here in Santa Monica. But if I don't get housing before I die here in Santa Monica, I'm going to keep speaking up for the poor and the homeless, and hopefully we'll move to a better day. Great to see you, Armando. Peace.
It's good to see you here.
You have a great night. Tonight I'm here till about 10:30. Yeah, 10:30. Yeah, it's almost 10 now. Probably 10:30 or so. So.
All right,
But I'll be back next week, usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I'm going to be coming a lot more because I'm going to start running for Santa Monica City Council and speaking out in more places.
If I see you on the ballot, I'll vote for you. Great.
Why, thank you very much, Armando. Make sure you get registered here in Santa Monica. Wonderful.
Wait, what's the last name?
Kelley.
Wait, Kelley.
Yeah, just like on that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll look out for your name.
Wonderful. And you can look at me on YouTube, Wade Kelley on YouTube and Facebook and Google. But yeah, I also have I will have a Wade Kelley for Santa Monica City Council 2026 on Facebook also. So you can follow what I'm doing there as well.
I like your guitar.
Thank you very much. I'll keep working at
I
it.
play a little bit myself.
Wonderful. Come and play with me sometime.
All right.
All right, Armando. You have a great night. Peace. That's right. Just got to keep working towards a better day because we haven't gotten there yet. We can't say we've done good enough when poor people are sleeping in the streets and rich people are having space races. That's not good enough. And if you're worried about those billionaires being upset because we're raising their taxes here in California, if you're worried about those billionaires, I'm sorry. Let the billionaires move to another state if they don't want to pay their fair share here in California. You tell them, go on and follow Elon Musk down to Texas and take advantage of the poor people down in Texas where they still have a $7.25 an hour minimum wage on the books. We don't need that kind of thing here. We need to be working towards building affordable housing and lifting people out of poverty. We need to show, California needs to show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. That progressive government is not the same as conservative Republican government like Trump. We need to show that there's a difference by lifting people out of poverty. Instead of criminalizing poverty and homelessness, we need to be lifting people up and making their life better right here in California. That's why we need to raise taxes on the billionaires here in California. Raise taxes on the rich. Yeah. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. That's right. And Tom Steyer is the only candidate for governor who is behind and endorsing the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Can you believe it? The billionaire is the only one who will endorse the Billionaire Tax Act. And I hate to vote for a billionaire, but if the other ones say no, we don't want to upset the billionaires in California, so we're not going to raise taxes on them, then I can't vote for you. I wrote to Becerra, I wrote to Katie Porter, and neither of them are behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, and that is a shame. Yes, that's the way we do it in the United States of America. We tax people. We don't wait for the rich people to have charity because we've seen how that goes. If you wait for charity for the poor, then you're going to start criminalizing homelessness like they're doing here in Santa Monica. They're going to start criminalizing poverty and criminalizing homelessness. That's why we don't have to ask the rich people if it's okay to raise their taxes, because it's part of our Constitution here in the United States. It's part of our Congress's job to raise taxes federally. But here in California, we don't have to wait for the national government, for the federal government. We can raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California, and we're the fourth largest economy of the world. We don't have to wait on anybody. So we need to show the rest of the country, listen, this is how it's supposed to be done. If there's such an imbalance where the rich people are having space races and poor people are sleeping in the streets and being arrested for sleeping in the streets, then you need to rebalance, recalibrate. That's right. That's right, Mike. So I hope you're going to vote. I hope you vote. You can vote for me. I'm going to run for Santa Monica City Council again. No, people are working hard and they aren't making enough money, Michael. People are working too hard and they can't afford a place. Most of the people in Santa Monica who work in Santa Monica cannot afford to live in Santa Monica. And they are pushing more poor people out into the streets. What?
There's plenty money.
That's right. There's plenty of money with the rich people.
Plenty seats in the government.
Okay, and there's always going to be corruption, and that's a terrible thing too. But we need to raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. You know, there's an imbalance, and we can see it every day. You know how many times they broke records? How many times did they break records on Wall Street this week? 2 or 3 times they broke records on Wall Street. The rich are doing just fine in this country. It's the poor people that are suffering. That's the poor people that are being arrested for being poor. Mike?
You know what is that? There is millions and millions and millions of money that's supposed to go to build home for the homeless.
Yes.
But who steal it? The people that work there.
There is some of that, Mike. You're right. There is fraud. And we did give our governor Newsom we gave our governor Newsom $24 billion to build affordable housing. What happened, Newsom? Instead, he went to the Supreme Court. He filed a friend of the court brief in Grants Pass versus Johnson. Our governor filed a friend of the court brief in Grants Pass versus Johnson with this conservative Supreme Court. He said, please help me criminalize homelessness because I want to clean up the streets, because he wants to run for president, of course. And they did that. They gave him and all the Western states under the Ninth Circuit Court, the Supreme Court gave them the right to criminalize poverty, to criminalize homelessness. That's why we see people getting citations and them tearing down the encampments without having any place to go. Because before Grants Pass versus Johnson, there was a thing called Martin v. Boise. And that said, if your city doesn't have enough shelter beds, you can't keep people from sleeping in your public places. But Grants Pass versus Johnson in the summer of 2024 changed that. And our own governor asked the Supreme Court to do that. And that's why, Newsom, you're done. We got to get behind a real progressive like Tom Steyer, and we need to raise taxes on the billionaires and stand up for the rights of these people that are being arrested for being poor and homeless. Because we have way too many people blaming the poor. Even the poor and homeless people don't think, even some of the poor and homeless people don't think the poor and homeless should have a right to the basics. Too many people say that the homeless people just need to get a job and work harder. There are plenty of homeless people working hard and still not affording to get jobs here in California and here in Santa Monica especially. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. What's the problem that brought him here. The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong, and they're looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Thank you. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Thank you. Peace. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cards for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace. They're very kind. You know, that's right. Santa Monica needs to do a better job. Are you Santa Monica voters? You are. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council this year, and I'm the only one so far. I was at spoken forum the other night on Zoom, and I was the only one of 11 candidates who would propose to use any of that Santa Monica airport when it is given to the city at the end of 2028, to use any of that 192 acres for affordable housing. Can you believe that? Out of 11. And that would still, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative that is out there right now proposes to use 44 acres of land to build 3,000 units of housing, still leaving 148 acres for a great park. I'd say that's a pretty great park, wouldn't you? So we need to build affordable housing, especially when we're criminalizing homelessness and poverty. So I hope you speak out. I hope you vote for me, but I hope you get involved. I hope you get involved and speak out against the human rights abuses right here in Santa Monica. What?
Thank you for doing that.
Kelley. Thank you. You have a great night. Peace. Thank you. We got to keep working towards a better day because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't got to equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. It's something we have to keep working at. And that's why we all need to get involved. We all need to speak out and tell our leaders they got to do a better job. Because when you start criminalizing poverty, when you start criminalizing homelessness, you're moving in the wrong direction. We need to tell those leaders loud and clear, you're not doing a good job. I mean, I don't care if your businesses all fail, if you're going to treat human beings like criminals for being poor. If you're going to put people in jail because they don't have a place to live or a place to sleep, then your businesses don't deserve to do well. And I'm going to be speaking out loud and clear while the FIFA Cup is here in June and July, and I'll be saying we need to stand against Santa Monica's cruelty to its human beings, to the poor people, to the unhoused. We need to stand against them criminalizing poverty. We need to stand up for the rights of human beings to thrive and exist, even if they're poor. We've done a very... The minimum wage here in California, I believe, is $16, $17. Has it gone to $8? It's supposed to go up. But the problem is, even on minimum wage here in California, people still can't afford an apartment, can't afford a place to live, because the apartments, the rents are so high, and you have to have 3 months. You have to have 2 months security and a month upfront, or a month rent in case you, deposit. You have to have a deposit and 2 months rent besides that. And you have to show that you can earn 3 times the rent every month. That's what they have on some of these leases, right? So without some kind of subsidy, without some kind of government subsidy, people living on minimum wage can't find a place to live. And we need to stand up for the rights of these people to have a decent place to live. How you doing, Dorian? You all right? Doing okay? Good to see you. What we got here?
And there ain't no more Section 8.
What?
There ain't no more Section 8.
There's no more Section 8 right now in Santa Monica. It's all closed. You can't get on a Section 8 list here in Santa Monica. I don't know how many people are on the low-income senior housing list, but I'm on that. But I think that, I don't know if there's 3,000 or 5,000 or 10,000. I'm trying to get the numbers from the Housing and Human Services Director. Dorian, can I give this to you? Or getting by all right?
How about you?
I keep getting by. I keep doing okay. Do you need more? Is that good for now?
Anything.
Is that enough for right now?
Absolutely.
You're going to get through a few days until I see. Well, I know that won't help you get through too many, but it might help you get a little something to eat. Hopefully down the road I'll have. Let me see. Are you in need right now? Yeah, okay. Okay. Because I think of you, and I want you to be doing well. I'm making sure that, and people are treating you all right. Yeah. You're smiling. You keep smiling and enjoying everything, and life is good. Basically, it's not easy though, is it? No, it's not easy being out, and it's not fair. And that's why I'm. Please register to vote here in Santa Monica, Dorian, if you can, because I'm going to run for Santa Monica City Council again because I want to speak out for human rights right here, and I'd like poor people and homeless people to get involved in our democracy and tell the rich people, listen, you're doing fine. You can't run everything though. You can't keep picking on the poor people all the time. We need to tell them loud and clear. So that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again. And I'm going to be speaking up for affordable housing and human rights. Basically, human rights is the main thing. I mean, if they weren't arresting people just for trying to sleep somewhere outside, if they had some public restrooms that were open 24 hours a day and some place to shower, hey, I'd be out there. I'd live outside most of the time myself if it wasn't so hard on these people. They're being arrested and given citations for smoking and all sorts of places. I know there's laws against smoking here in Santa Monica, but they don't prosecute the rich people here for smoking. They don't prosecute the rich people for having an open container. As a matter of fact, they want rich people to have open containers here on the promenade. They want them to buy buy alcohol here on the promenade and walk around and have a great party here on the promenade. But just 2 blocks down, 1 block down, if you have an open container and you're poor and homeless, they're going to give you a citation and they might arrest you right there. They're finding reasons to approach these homeless people, and like if they're smoking, they'll want their ID, they'll want their information, and they'll check and see if they have any kind of outstanding warrants. Sometimes they'll give somebody they'll take somebody to jail, arrest somebody just because they have an outstanding warrant for sleeping in public. And it's just it's cruel and inhumane. We got to keep standing up for human rights, standing up for people's rights just to be able to survive and thrive. We live in the richest, most powerful country in the world. We got plenty. We live in the land of milk and honey. There's no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while rich people are having space races. We can do better than that. We just need to spread the love around a little better. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Good night, Dorian. We don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now, the world needs now, world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. So listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love. That's right. We just got to spread the love around a little better. Thank you. Got to spread it around a little better. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy. We got to do a better job of being kind to the needy. We got to show people that, hey, we're still working towards the goals of our Declaration of Independence. We're still working towards those goals where everybody can pursue their happiness. We're still working towards those goals where we're working towards a more perfect union. We're trying to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We're still working at these things, so we need to make sure that we're lifting people up those people that are down and out, those people that need help, those people that need the government to do its job and make sure everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world so that they can pursue their happiness. Especially as we're moving further and further into this technological age where more and more of the jobs are going to be going to artificial intelligence and robots, we need to stand up for human beings' rights to exist. Rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys. On the rich people's toys. We got the rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people's toys. That's right. We need to stand up for human rights. Stand up for the rights of human beings to thrive and survive. When the rainbow rhythm starts to play, dance with me and make me sway, like the lazy ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close, sway me more, like a flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have the magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can see the sound of violins long before it begins, making me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now, sway me now, sway me now, sway me now. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. Peace. We need to take a little time for love songs now and again and keep working towards a better day. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Keep telling our leaders to stand up for human rights and stand up for the rights of those that have been pushed into the streets. So we got to keep working towards justice and keep having some fun while we do it. Like John Lewis said, do not get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful. Be optimistic. That's right. Don't tell me that violence is the only way to change things in this country. You're wrong. It's been done before. We need to stand up for peaceful protest. John Lewis and Martin Luther King Jr. and the people in the civil rights movement showed us that peaceful protest is something that can change the country and that people need to get behind. And they practiced peaceful protest. And we need to tell all our young people today, don't get behind any violence. Don't cheer on assassins. We need to keep working at peacefully protesting and stand up. Like John Lewis said, do not get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful. Be optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, of a week, or a month, or a year. Our struggle is the struggle of a lifetime. Never ever be afraid to make some noise, to get in some good trouble, some necessary trouble. And that inspired me to write this song. Keep on getting up. Keep on speaking out. Keep on singing. Peace and love is what it's all about. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Don't get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic, and you know someday we'll get there. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Keep on lifting up. Keep on, lend a helping hand. We can't solve every problem, but we can try to understand. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you. That's right. We got to keep working towards a better day because we haven't gotten there yet. And we got to keep being optimistic and keep enjoying the debate. Keep enjoying the process. I know it's hard sometimes. I get frustrated. I say, why am I running for Santa Monica City Council again? I don't know if I can do anything to help poor people in this city of Santa Monica. But I got to do it. So I might as well enjoy standing up and speaking out for human rights. Even if it achieves nothing in this city of Santa Monica, I might as well enjoy it. So we gotta enjoy the struggle. Keep working towards a better day. Because we haven't gotten there yet. And we gotta dance and have fun. Para bailar la bamba se necesita un poco de gracia. Un poco de gracia por mi partida. Arriba, arriba. Ay, arriba, arriba. Por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bamba, bamba. Bamba, bamba. I think I got enough shelter. No soy marinero, no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, 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 bamba. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, let's make sure the land is made for you and me. That's right. We got to keep working for the rights of those people that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given a pathway to citizenship. We need to stand up for their rights to have a pathway to citizenship. When you're talking about tens of millions of people that they didn't come here overnight, you know. A lot of them have been here for generations, and we need our government to find a pathway to citizenship for these people so they can participate in our democracy. It's just another way of rich people trying to keep the poor people out of our democracy. And we need to make sure that we find a pathway to citizenship for almost all of those people that have been living in the shadows for generations. Para bailar banda, para bailar bamba se necesita un poco de gracia, un poco de gracia para mi partida. Arriba, 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 por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bamba, 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 bamba. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Para bailar la bamba, one more time. Para bailar la bamba se necesita un poco de gracia. Un poco de gracia para mi partida. Arriba, arriba. Arriba, arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bamba, 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 bamba. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, let's make sure the land is made for you and me. Let's make sure the land is made for you and me. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Why? Thank you, Armando. Thank you. I'm gonna be wrapping up. I'm gonna be wrapping it up. I'm gonna be wrapping it up because it's getting late, even for me. I like to play out. Oh, it's such a beautiful night, though. Such a beautiful night. I could do this all night, but you know, I could do it all night. It's just you know, sometimes I get a little. We got to get a little sleep, and you know, sometimes sometimes I even get tired of hearing myself talk. I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes even I get tired of hearing me talk. But I can't get tired of it yet. Not while we have so much to do here in Santa Monica and around the country. We want the rest of the country. When the people come here for the FIFA Cup, you know what I want them to see? I want them to see that we stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. That's right. And that everybody has a right to express themselves without fear of retribution here in California and here in the United States. Freedom, that's right. The ability to exercise our First Amendment rights and tell the government what we think they should be doing. I want the rest of the world to see that when they come here for the FIFA Cup and for the Olympics in 2028. I want to see us lifting people out of poverty and making sure that everybody can have housing and a place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. I hope they can see that in a few years. But right now, all they're going to see is what they're trying to do is push all the poor people down the road so that none of the people can see any of the poor people when they come here. That's what they want to do here in Santa Monica. They just keep pushing the poor people down the road because they don't want the people to see human beings that have been left behind by the government and left behind by our billionaire class. People say we shouldn't raise taxes on the billionaires. Well, the billionaires raised taxes on poor people. They made them sleep in the streets, and that's a terrible tax for poor people to have to pay. So we need to raise taxes on the billionaires, and we need to show that we care about human rights right here in Santa Monica and right here in California. What? I know the Salvation Army does some good things. They feed people over there, but they don't house that many people. And you know, the city of Santa Monica right now, under their new programs, their realignment plan, they want to lease shelter beds in the city of Bell, a lower income, more densely populated, more racially diverse city than Santa Monica. They want to push the poor people into areas that are already poor and areas that are already diverse, racially diverse. That's what they want to do. And that's a shame. That's why they want to lease 60 beds in the city of Bell from the Salvation Army, because they have beds there. They want to close down San Michelle here. You know, they want to close that down because they say too many criminal types around San Michelle, the shelter. I said to the director of Housing and Human Services, well, why don't you fix the San Michelle shelter, make it better instead of closing it down and moving the shelter beds over to the city of Bell? That doesn't make any sense at all. You're just pushing the problem into another city instead of making things better. They could save the San Michelle building, tent, whatever it is called, and they could make sure that they renovate it. That's city-owned property. The city already owns it. All they have to do is fix it up and make it better make it a better shelter. But they'd just rather push the poor people down the road and make it somebody else's problem, and that's a shame. And that's one of the reasons why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council this year again. Because I want to stand up for human rights. I believe that human beings have an innate worth. And it's not just the amount of money they generate. How much does it cost to live? How much do you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful country on the face of the earth? How you doing, Thomas? Good to see you. Peace. Doing well, thank you. Beautiful night, isn't it? How much does it cost to live? How much do you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful country on the face of the earth? How much does a rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the day when human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much? How much? How much? That's right. How much should it cost a human being just to survive every day? Is a human being only worth the amount of money they generate, the amount of currency that they can create? I don't think so. I don't think you do either. Most people don't. Most people understand that human beings have a value in and of themselves. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that we're all created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. And I think the right to live and thrive and survive in this richest, most powerful country is something we need to work towards. So keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for us all. Stand up for those who are in need. Stand up against hatred and racism whenever you see it, whenever you hear it. Let's keep working to make sure everybody has a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. And let's stand for common sense gun laws. Keep working towards a better day for everybody. Keep standing up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again this year, to stand up for human rights. How much does it cost to live? How much do you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive? How hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful, most abundant country on the face of the earth? How much does a rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the day when human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much? How much? How much? How much? How much? How much? Peace and love. Thank you.